this is a book that I used to have when I was at college. This is also Advanced Craft Technology. Really good book to have. But what I want to show you in this is international performance symbols for wallpaper. Let's have a closer look. Starting from the top on the left hand side, that symbol means it's spongeable, so you can give it a light wipe. The next one, washable, it can be a bit heavier, and the third one there, super washable. You know, they're pretty self-explanatory. You can give that a heavier wash, and then the next one you can actually scrub it. So then moving down onto, that's a sun symbol, obviously. That's how good the actual colours will behave when they're in the sunlight, because over time the sunlight can bleach the colours. So obviously that one, it'll take a lot longer. And then moving on to these two, this is when you come to actually strip your paper. The first one, you have to strip all the paper off the wall, and on the second one you can peel the front of the paper off very easily, and then you can actually emulsion over the backing, or you can apply another wallpaper over the top, as long as there's no edges lifting, things like that. Now moving up to the right column, paste the wall paper. You know, that's obvious one, got to paste the wall and not the paper. With those papers there's usually no soaking time. It's literally put some paste on the wall and stick the paper up. What I prefer to do is actually paste the paper and then stick the paper straight up with no soaking time. Now moving on to the free match, again self-explanatory. You put the paper up and you see what feels best on the match when you're putting it up. Generally there's no match, you just put them up. A straight match, now there is an obvious match in the paper, and it's got to be horizontal across the wall. Now an offset match is again pretty self-explanatory. The actual pattern is offset from each other and repeats on the third length down the wall. So the first one, and then your second one, and then your third one will be like the first one. Design repeats and distance of offset. Now they're really important to look at when you're deciding on your pattern and what room you've got. Sometimes if you've got a straight match with a 50 centimeter repeat, then when you come to hanging your paper, depending on the length of your wall and where you start your pattern at the top, you could lose 50 centimeters of paper at the bottom when you rematch it at the top. So you've really got to be careful on your design repeat. Usually the higher the number, you can have more waste. Now going on to coordinated fabric available, again it's quite an obvious one. You can buy curtains and cushions and fabrics to go along with the wallpaper you've chosen. Direction of hanging, again it's quite obvious. That means all your lengths go the same way. Sometimes you can get 3 arrows going the same way, and again that just means the same. All your paper goes the same way. The next one is a reverse alternate lengths. So working off one roll of wallpaper, you'll cut one length, and then when you cut your second length, you actually reverse it and the alternate side matches. So really, out of all the symbols there, the two difficult ones are reversing the alternate length and the offset match. So what I'll show you next is how to work two rolls together when you're doing an offset match, and then I'll explain the reverse alternate length. So cutting your lengths for your offset pattern. First of all, you always want to open your paper facing up, so you can see the pattern obviously, and you can see any defects in the pattern straight away. So once you've opened your paper up, you've measured your length that you need for your wall, you know exactly where your pattern more or less you want at the top of your wall. So giving yourself an inch overlap, cut your paper nice and straight, always keeping your bench nice and straight. Now, once you've done that, you can obviously measure your paper down to the length required, and then you can cut it again. Now, what you would do now is, using the same roll, make another, well, find where your pattern is coming across. The pattern's there, but that's too low down, so I'll have to bring it up. So now you can see I've got a lot of waste. Now when I take that across, I've got a lot of waste there now. So I'm going to cut that at what it is. Now there'll be two lengths. Now they'll repeat down the wall. So what I need to do next is, using one roll, work the first length. So look, the match is straight with no waste. The match is literally straight there. Right? Now what I do then is cut that, and that will stay as my first roll for cutting my first pieces. Then what I would do is get another roll out, work out the second piece, and then cut that. Now that roll then would only be for my second pieces. Generally, you're not going to waste that much. So that will always be your second piece, which I'm not wasting that much. If I use that for my first piece now, there it's too short, and there I've just wasted all that paper. So that stays as my second roll. And that's how you work alternative rolls, so you don't have a lot of waste of paper. Now, moving on to reversing a length. Basically, you cut a length of paper, and your second length of paper is turned round on the roll. And what you find is that side of the paper matches that side of the paper, but only when it's turned round. So your first length will be cut like that, second length will be cut like that, and the alternate down the wall. It's an easy one to make a mistake with and get one the wrong way up, but yeah, right, that's explained.